Y'all, so listen, Marvel's Secret Invasion is right around the corner, dropping in June, and today Vanity Fair just released an article dropping some new images and new details, and y'all, I'm gonna go through the article, we're gonna read it. Yes, I'm going line by line. I understand if you don't want to stick around, hear me reading the article, but guys, I love getting the new details for these shows, y'all. Honestly, after reading a little bit of it, it's my second most anticipated comic book project, right behind Across the Spider-Verse. Sorry, Guardians, I'm sorry, but this sounds like it's going to be freaking awesome, guys. But hey, if it's your first time on the channel, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below for your boy Leo right there. Guys, here we talk to MCU, DCU, and beyond on Geekly Goods. And y'all, today we are going to the MCU to talk about Secret Invasion, guys. Let's check out this article and the new images with it. Let's do it. Guys, Marvel's Secret Invasion revealed inside Samuel L. Jackson's eye-opening new Marvel series, and this is coming out of the Vanity Fair, guys. You can see this image of Nick Fury himself, the man himself, in this first look image, and he's exploring a crypt marked by rune inscriptions, guys. I'm really excited because the cinematography on this show just looks like chef's kiss, baby. It looks good, y'all. So let's dive into this article, which says, who are you really? That question is at the core of Marvel's new series, Secret Invasion, which follows Samuel L. Jackson's spy master Nick Fury as he uncovers a conspiracy to quietly install double agents into positions of power around the world. Wow, that sounds excellent right there. I'm guessing Kingsley Ben-Adir and some of the other new actors and actresses that we see are going to be involved in this plot. Love how that sounds. Let's keep on reading, guys. In a traditional espionage story, these might be operatives from hostile rival nations, but in the MCU, the infiltration has an otherworldly origin. Shape-shifting green-skinned extraterrestrials known as Skrulls, who can perfectly simulate any human being at will. Figuring out who is to become especially daunting. We don't know who's a friend, who's the enemy, Jackson tells Vanity Fair for this exclusive deep dive into the upcoming series. There's a political aspect that kind of fits into where we are right now. Who's okay, who's not, what happens when people get afraid and don't understand other people. You can tell who's innocent, who's guilty in this particular instance. Okay. Our heroes and villains will be easy to decipher. Nick Fury first became an ally of the Skrulls in the 90s set Captain Marvel, when he and Ben Mendelsohn's alien leader Talos fought side by side with each other. In that story, the Skrulls were not a threat, just the innocent victims of a galactic war who needed help. But decades had passed. He told the Skrulls they were trying to find them a place to live, and Jackson says he promised them they were going to find them a planet or somewhere they could be, and that's not going so well. Okay, so that's some great context there, because yes, last time we were left off with the Skrulls, they were innocent. They were just people, refugees trying to find a planet, and I liked what they did with them, but I also was a bit conflicted because I knew the Skrulls from the comics weren't like that. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? Okay, we're seeing some development of the Skrulls here as well, seeing that we start to step on some dangerous grounds the further we go and the further we get away from that 90s timeline. Guys, let's continue. We see Nick Fury's head-to-head with Ben Mendelsohn here, which is a Skrull greeting according to Ben Mendelsohn. Now, a group of Skrull extremists have arisen who are tired of asking and tired of waiting. Okay, there's a little bit more development there. The clandestine takeover and Secret Invasion in their solution, and Gravik, played by Kingsley Ben-Adir, is the resistance leader who has radicalized them. Okay, so just like I said, Kingsley Ben-Adir is one of them who's infiltrating, who's behind this, who's helping them out with the infiltrating. Okay, I love that for this character. He breaks from the Talos-led faction to seize the resources they need, first quietly by disguising themselves, then by force if needed. The storyline mirrors countless true stories from actual history when displaced groups have first fractured, then lashed out after patience and diplomacy is exhausted. I think anytime that you get cultures that have significant tensions between groups of people, then you can find a corollary, says Mendelsohn. The Cold War stuff is the big one that jumps out, but there's plenty of strife between groups of people that this addresses. And you can see a picture here of Kingsley Ben-Adir's character. Here he is as Gravik, the charismatic leader of the Skrull Resistance in Secret Invasion. So yes, Kingsley Ben-Adir is going to be playing the main antagonist, it sounds like, who's going to be leading essentially a resistance against the peaceful Skrulls, who wants power, it sounds like. Man, I'm really looking forward to what they chop up with this story, guys. I really like Kingsley Ben-Adir in One Night in Miami, so happy to see him in another project. The conflict is not just geopolitical, it's personal. One Skrull radical, Emilia Clarke's Gaia. Okay, that's how it's pronounced. I'm glad they have the pronounce there. Has issues with Talos that go far deeper than most. While this is the Game of Thrones actress's first appearance in a Marvel Studios project, her character has actually appeared before. So this is a fair warning, guys. Apparently the showrunners don't consider it a spoiler, but some might. Let's continue. When asked about Clark's character, Jackson points out a scene from the 2019 Captain Marvel in which Fury witnesses a reunion between Mendelsohn's Talos and his long-lost Skrull family. Remember when Ben was there with his wife and daughter? She's the little girl grown up. Okay, so this is Talos's daughter, is being played by Emilia Clarke. I love this. Emilia Clarke's Gaia in a Skrull hideout. Love this image. Emilia Clarke, so good to see ya, so good to see ya. Skrulls are much more to withstand radioactivity, and there are a ton of decommissioned radioactive sites within Russia, says the executive producer. Guys, I love this look at Emilia Clarke here in this. It looks like some kind of underground going on here. Y'all, I can't wait to see. Growing up amidst constant war makes it hard to ever stop fighting. Living in the shadow of a powerful parent makes the situation even more dire, especially when it's a leader who is seen to have failed. Gaia's case, resistance was virtually inevitable. It's hardened for her for sure. There's a kind of punk feeling that you get from this girl. Okay. She's a refugee kid who's had Talos for a dad. You know what I mean? Maybe the fact that we didn't know he had a kid up until this point tells you everything you need to know about their relationship. Well said. Gaia is also pretty much over her dad's friend Fury and his fellow human beings. These people promised a lot of stuff to a long time ago and not a lot has happened. Yeah, very, very human. But here's a look at Gaia and Ben Mendelsohn's character Talos. Looks like they're having a confrontation, and the quote says, there is a lot of angst and pain and anger and resentment. Man, I'm looking forward to this! Secret Invasion draws its inspiration from a 2008 Marvel Comics storyline, of course, written by Brian Michael Bendis, Secret Invasion. If you haven't read it, definitely go check it out. It is a great comic book, guys. The Disney Plus series executive producer Jonathan Swartz says the show also takes cues from the Cold War espionage thrillers of Jean Le Carre and some contemporary TV shows that explored the clash between loyalty and identity. We're really inspired by shows like Homeland and The Americans. God, this is just sounding better and better the deeper I get into this article, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. In his quest to unravel the Skrull extremist plot, Fury crosses paths with a number of figures who, like him, have held positions of off-the-books influence around the globe, often as part of national intelligence services. Also, like him, they tend to be comfortable operating outside the strictures of law and order. I think maybe that meant to say structures. I don't know. Among them are Martin Freeman's Everett K. Ross. I don't know that we really need him. But here's our first look at Ross in Secret Invasion. I'm like, all right, really? Another is Don Cheadle's Rhodey. Okay, cool. Rhodey's gonna be in it. Awesome. From the Iron Man film, so he's frequently fought on the front lines as the armored war machine. This is a different kind of Rhodey, a political animal and not, you know, a guy who has a special suit. Okay, so we're gonna see Rhodey in a different capacity here. We're gonna see him a little more espionage, a little more political, not so action heavy based. I'm looking forward to that. I really do like Don Cheadle, of course, and I've liked his roles since Iron Man 2, so I'm looking forward to it. A more antagonistic presence in Secret Invasion is an MI6 agent played by Oscar winner Olivia Colman. This is who I've been looking forward to knowing more about, y'all. Miss Olivia Colman, Miss Colman, who's intensively motivated to protect England's national security interests during the crisis. So she's gonna be quite the antagonist as well. Okay, I like the look, I like the glare here, giving her a little bit of bad guy vibes. I love it. Olivia Colman in Secret Invasion. She's a high-ranking agent in the British intelligence service who has a past with Nick Fury. What we talking about there? What were you implying there with that past? The one individual Fury is certain he can rely upon is his longtime S.H.I.E.L.D. partner, Maria Hill, of course played by Colby Smulders, who, shout out, appeared at SDCC on the panel last year. Was glad to see her. Hill has never had a mechanical suit, biologically engineered strength, or mystical powers, but she has always been the stalwart of the Avengers team, a grounding presence. Secret Invasion allows her to step into a more pivotal role in which her basic humanity is the asset. Listen, I would have loved superpowers at some point, but it's also just intriguing playing a human in this world because you've made the choice to really put your life in jeopardy, Smulders says. This is a Marvel story where the humans can shine. Even though there are aliens and there's going to be extraordinary fight sequences, This is about people on the ground talking on each other, interviewing people, really do hands-on work to get the information needed. And here is Cobie Smulders' character. She looks awesome as Maria Hill with these tech-enhanced glasses. At the time of Secret Invasion, Hill has been fulfilling her human watchdog role, mostly by herself for several years. Marvel faithful remember that Nick Fury has been said to be off-world, since Endgame, so he's been off-world. And then in Far From Home, the figure who appeared to be Nick Fury was actually Talos in disguise, filling in for his old friend while he has been on a deep space mission to help Skrull friends find the new homeworld he promised. I haven't been back on Earth in a minute, and as Cobie will say, she's been trying to reach me and contact me, but I've been ignoring her messages. I think Maria Hill has really run out of patience, Smulders adds. She always had this really close relationship with Nick Fury, but he's been gone for so long and she's just been running around putting out fires. As Secret Invasion begins, he finally responds when Hill realizes that their Skrull friends may not be so friendly anymore. A Skrull regards her true form in a mirror in a scene. Okay, so I was like, oh, is that Emilia Clarke's character? Looks like it's just a Skrull for now. Maybe it's Emilia Clarke's character. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Nick Fury has been overdue for his own story. His introduction came in the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie when Jackson turned up in a post-credit to tell Iron Man, you become a part of a bigger universe, you just don't know it yet. Yep, I remember all that. There's nobody here who's glossy and ready for action in a spandex one piece, Smulders adds. I mean, my wardrobe alone has changed so much since the original film. I was in platform high knees and a skin-tight leotard in Avengers, and I'm in a straight-up jeans and tee in this one. Yeah, much different look for Maria Hill, but here's a look at Maria Hill and Nick Fury, the real Nick Fury without the eye patch, y'all. Really looking forward to this. Some of Fury's vulnerabilities are internal. Sins from his past start to haunt him again, Schwartz says. We often see Nick Fury doing the right thing. We don't always see him doing it in a perfectly morally correct way. All those things have ramifications, and without getting too specific, the things that Nick Fury's had to do to protect the Earth have costs. Ooh, woo. That sounds spicy. Jackson hints at some of it. Nick had a whole Skrull spy network because they could shapeshift and go places that people couldn't go. They have kept their world, they've worked for him, and he hasn't done what he said he was gonna do. They want a home, they want to live, they want to live like they are, they want to live in their skin, they don't want to live in ours. The human world also begins to harbor doubts about Fury. What he's not doing is calling in his super friends, so that's part of the whole dilemma. I mean, people want them and he's not bringing them. Why? You'll find out, Jackson says. There's a very good reason he's holding back. Man, oh man, that was a great dig into Secret Invasion, guys. I am really looking forward to the series, y'all. Spy thriller? I'm so hyped for that, guys. I think that that's such a cool way to transition into something very creative for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I feel like this is going to loosely tie in to the Marvels movie because we are going to see some more Skrulls in the Marvels. So I think that this is a marvelous new update. I'm really looking forward to seeing more and learning more about Secret Invasion. It kind of feels like MCU's answer to Andor, doesn't it? It feels like something kind of small, kind of close and tight, but man, we've got a hell of a cast here with Samuel L. Jackson, Olivia Colman, Emilia Clarke, Kingsley Ben-Adir, Ben Mendelsohn, and Olivia Colman. I think I said Olivia Colman, but geez, we've got a hell of a cast here. I mean, just a hell of a cast, and I'm really looking forward to Secret Invasion. It just feels fresh. It feels like it's going to explore something different. Homelander vibes. Like, I'm really looking forward to diving into this spy thriller-esque MCU, and I like that it's going to be very focused on the human characters. We're not going to get a lot of heroes bursting in. Even War Machine is going to be a part of this thing, but more political sense. Guys, I can't wait for this. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments. How do you think Secret Invasion sounds? Because like I said, after this article, y'all, it is definitely jumped up to my #2 most anticipated comic book project of this year, right behind only Across the Spider-Verse, with #3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, following very closely, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments zone. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for your boy, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.